This video is going to break down tips that you've never heard people talk about yet are essential for actually helping you win games. If that sounds cool, let's just get into the video. So you may have heard of something called an RPO read before in College Football 25. These are a very powerful play, and I want to explain something that makes them so good. This R icon right here, this is representing the read defender. RPO reads are a RPO that is a read option. So right here, the R defender, if he crashes down, I'm going to keep it. And if he shuffles like he did right there, I'm going to hand the ball off. Remember, to keep the ball with your quarterback, you're going to hold A or X. Now, there's something to keep in mind with this read icon, which is this guy can never play the pass. So when you're on offense, you hold right trigger, push the right stick up. This read icon will never play the pass. Why is that important? Because right here, if I was to look at this defense, I would say, man, that bubble probably not going to get open, right? There's a guy right on top of him. But even though this guy is right on top of him, he's manned up, I'm going to guess pass. Watch what happens. The read icon plays the run. He always will. That is massive because you can take advantage of that alignment-wise big time. Like right here. Look at this. Like this looks like a situation where, man, we're going to have to, like, bubble screen not even an option. No, pre-snap, you can throw this bubble every single time if that guy above him is the read key. So how do you avoid this if you're the defense, right? Because let me kind of show you where this could be very annoying, where if you're a defensive player and you're trying to run some kind of blitz or something, let's go RPO read bubble right here. And let's say the blitz setup is something like this right here. Well, who's the read key here? Well, right here, we're not showing one at all. Now, who's the read key? It's this R icon, right? We have everybody in the box. Guess what? We know that R icon will never, ever play the pass. So now we get huge numbers advantages, okay? RPO reads are really good for this reason. To avoid this, what you need on defense is somebody outside of this end or outside of the tackle or the tight end on the side of the RPO read. This will always be on the halfback side, okay? Keep that in mind. So right here, notice what happens if I move my defensive end out. Who's the new read key? It's a defensive end. He's outside of that tight end now. And now, if I run this, notice how we have a pick six, all due to alignment. This is purely an alignment thing. So if you're ever getting what you feel like glitched out, your players aren't playing RPOs on defense, this is probably why, because they're the read key. Another thing I'll do a lot is, let's look at the read key right here. Now look at the read key. And he's the mic as well, but if I change the mic, there we go. The read key just changed. I moved to outside back, or I moved a backer outside of him. Now, when I snap this ball, you're going to see pick six again because we're changing the read key. Something to keep in mind, on offense, a great thing to exploit if you have RPO reads in your playbook. And on defense, that is how you avoid the RPO reads kind of bugging you out a little bit and just leading to massive plays. And if you've gotten value from this video, you should consider joining over 2,000 active members who are part of my website using my exact offenses and defenses to help them win more games. Over 98% of people who have joined said they've won more games since joining. We have an incredibly active Discord community and tons of content on our website that is designed that no matter what skill level or game mode you play, is actually going to help you win more games. Right now, you can use code CIVIL30 and get 30% off, and the link to that is in the top of the description. Now, after you do that, let's get back to the video. Now, you may have had this happen to you before. Notice how all of my wide receivers have icons over them, right? We see B, we see Y, but if you drop back too far, you'll lose these icons. And if you try making a play, well, you just don't know where your icons are anymore, so you can't throw the ball, you don't know which receiver is which icon. This will happen sometimes if if you drop back way too far consistently, or maybe if you're on like a third down, fourth down, trying to make a play happen. But notice right here how I'm able to get my icons to come back and I'm able to throw an absolute laser. That was I can't believe we just got that throw on this video, I'll be honest with you. But how do we do this? Well, it's actually pretty simple. What we're going to do is utilize the pump fake feature. So once we drop back too far, if we get back into range, notice that we weren't in range that first time. If we get back into range, which it seems it's like let's see, it's about a 20-yard radius of when you lose your icons. If you get back within 20 yards and then just simply pump fake, they'll come back. To pump fake, just double tap an icon. You can do this whenever, by the way. Just double tap. I'm double tapping B. keep in mind that with pump faking, sometimes the game can be a little bit weird and you'll do that. So just something to keep in mind. This is just an easy way to get your icons to come back if you're ever in this situation. Right here's a good example of, you know, this like genuinely good example of when that might happen to you, right? Obviously, if this happened to you a ton where you're losing your icons, you're probably having really bad pocket presence. Laser? Laser? Oh, we dropped it. But yeah, so if this happened to you a ton, probably a thing you want to get fixed, and it's probably like costing you some big plays. But it is something that you can fix and overcome. Let's show it one more time really fast. Go back. Right. Oh, oops. I lost my icons. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my check down in this case. But it could be a deep ball downfield. We've all been in this situation before. So speaking of icons, let's move on to this one right here. Notice my icons on the screen right here. We have X, Y, A, B, and RB, okay? I'm going to snap the ball. Watch how they run. Nothing too crazy. You've seen this a million times. Notice the click on catch right there. That's a big deal. But we're not talking about that in this one. So here are my icons right now. Now let's look at our icons. These are massive. Now let's snap the ball. Notice the icons are much, much, much bigger. I have found, now this is not something that I personally use, but I have found that a lot of people really like these big icons. It makes it easier to see the field. Like the pass meter is way bigger. It's just a different way to kind of play the game. Some people find it much, much nicer to do it like this. So to make your icons big, we're going to press the pause button. You can do this in the main menu as well. Go into your options, scroll down to accessibility, and then if you want these to be on, you're going to click enlarge on-field graphics to on. If you want them off, you'll just turn them off, okay? But notice that we just had it on, so if I just go off right here, notice that they are the normal size that you will typically see people playing with. It's not something that I use, but I've seen a lot of people say that they've used it, and it's been like a huge help. So if it is, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm genuinely curious. Something that a lot of people don't know is what a soft squat actually does. A soft squat is a zone that goes on outside corners, as you see on the left of your screen right here, that can be found in some cover 2 plays, but especially things like cover 2 blitzes. So if you ever see like a Tampa 2 trap or cover 2 trap or anything like that, usually you'll have at least one soft squat on one side, like you see right here on the left. Now, this is a matching zone, okay? And actually, I can prove this to you right here. And it's matching under some situations. We'll explain that. Right here, I'm going to hot route this guy or adjust him into a cloud flat. We'll press A or X on him, go down the left stick, and he is in a cloud right here. A cloud is going to be a normal zone that's just going to play a certain area of the field. Now on the left side, I'm going to put a speed out route. Okay? Very popular route. We're going to do this. And notice what happens. It's going to be able to get played by the defensive back, right? We all see that. Boom, we'll do it again right here. Now, the defensive back didn't do a great job playing it, but like he is playing his zone. And he's gonna, he can jump that, right? Now, let's leave the soft squat over there. Let's notice what the soft squat does. Same play, everything's the same. This time, though, the soft squat mans up onto that guy. He became, he matched onto him, essentially. He became man coverage, right? Right here again. Notice the massive difference between the soft squat and the cloud flat, even though they look very similar, right? Soft squat, cloud flat. They look very similar on that left side, although they are not the same. Now, with that being said, this can also be really useful for watch how the soft squat is going to play the slant route. When I run a slant, notice what he just did. He just carried all the way across the field. Now, he got cooked, but notice who's there. Number 8 makes the tackle. You know where number 8 lines up pre-snap? Right here. This is number 8 on the left side. If I put him in a cloud flat, let's go again. Notice what he doesn't do. He doesn't match. So, when would he not match? He really won't ever match if there's another threat on that side. So let me show you an example. If we do something like this, and then let's do this, he shouldn't match. Now, sometimes these matching principles can be weird and can even get tweaked from patch to patch. So let's see if I'm right here. And he just doesn't match the same way. Notice he's going to play that deep out route. Now, he doesn't actually make the pick. He should. But he's going to play that much better and different than when he was just a soft squat. Or when he was by himself. Again, right here, soft squat, we're going to leave this slant on the left side. Let's see what he does against the slant. Notice again, the soft squat sits just like the cloud flat will. So if the soft squat does not go into a matching principle, he's going to play more similar to how the cloud flat will play. Another way is if we attack that area of the field with a halfback underneath, watch the slant on the left, soft squat is going to stay put. So he's really, really good if you have a receiver on an island. There are a couple of easy ways to exploit this, though, which is, imagine if we just have a drag coming back across, right? Because soft squat's on the left. We have a slant, so he's going to match onto the slant. And drag is going to get into that open area he left, unless somebody else picks him up, which in that case they do. They just won't always do that. Let's do it again. Boom. And you actually see the match right here is doing a good job, but the point of it, the point I'm trying to get at is that left flat can be susceptible because of the matching of the soft squat. If you ever want to turn off the matching of that soft squat, and but man, this pass rush is just getting to me. Check this out. Let's go into our coaching adjustments. Let's go flats to, we can actually turn curl flats, or if any zone drop is turned on, it'll actually turn off the match. So now we have a zone drop turned on. Let's run that slant. Notice what happens. He doesn't match anymore because we have a zone drop on. And that zone drop, he's going to make him play regular drop zone coverage. We're just going to make him default into a soft squat or into a cloud flat. A little bit confusing, but hopefully that was somewhat helpful to clear up what a soft squat is compared to a cloud flat. Soft squats are cool. They have a little bit of a purpose. I don't use them as much this year, but they can do some cool things. They can bait some people. So something that could be useful for you at different times is the idea of actually taking one of our wide receivers. I'm using Texas right now. We have Isaiah Bond, and we're actually going to go all the way down in our depth chart to our cornerback position. And if we notice something here, none of our corners are very fast, okay? Like they're 92 speed, 93 speed, 80, like they're slow. They're not fast. And we're going against South Carolina right here, who, if we look at their wide receivers, they have Nick Harbor. He's a dog. He's a dog. He is a guy you want to watch out for. I don't care what his overall is. This guy, dog. And so you might be in a situation where you're going up against fast wide receivers, or maybe even like really fast running backs, and you just want some extra speed on your defense. Well, if you go to corner, you can actually take one of these guys, who I'd probably take in this case. We'll go Javion Cole. And I would replace him with Isaiah Bond to be able to get that speed. This is really useful for two different things. One, it allows you to run press coverage if you wanted to do that. You could run man coverage as well. Even though his ratings are low, that speed is so important. Like, that's just a physical thing that doesn't matter how good I am. If you are just a pure, way better athlete than me, there's usually a big disadvantage in that area, right? Especially if you've ever played sports, you know that, unless you are just very technically and fundamentally sound, which just doesn't translate to video game football very well. So this can help in that area, right? Coverage. But also think about this in terms of tackling a fast quarterback, tackling a fast running back, limiting big plays. Isaiah Bond's going to do a really good job compared to 88 speed Javion Cole of hawking down different players, of getting across the field fast, right? And I might even put him, into right here or so. And again, he's a 76 overall. I don't care as much about that as I do, because this 98 speed is such a difference maker compared to 92, right? Like, this is so... Muhammad would never catch Isaiah Bond. And now, instead of you being a little bit slow at DB, you now have the fastest player on the field. And this goes for different positions too, right? Or this goes for, even if it's not Isaiah Bond at 98 speed, Nick Harbor is not the worst idea ever to throw at DB in certain situations. I'm not going to recommend this on the goal line. I'm not going to recommend this in the red zone. You need a big fourth down stop, and they're probably running the ball. But in certain situations, I think, especially against a team airing it out, I think utilizing the wide receiver at DB, at cornerback, is one of the best things you can do to give yourself a little bit of a competitive edge, and just utilize your receivers and your players to their fullest potential. This can very much be the difference between scoring touchdowns and being short of the end zone. And in this area of the field, right, we've all been here. This is hard to score in sometimes, right? So the idea here is that the game actually gives you a special ability to do what's called, I call it a Jimmy jump, where right there, if we show this in instant replay really fast, you see the massive takeoff we get, right? This is simply by pressing the left stick up and holding X or square on PlayStation, the dive button. What this is going to allow us to do, when we're behind a blocker, we're going to go up and over that blocker with a Superman jump. Now, this only works on the goal line, okay? Only works on the goal line. If I were to try this at the 7, at the 50, at the 43, it won't work. And if I'm not right behind a blocker, this also won't work. So keep that in mind, right? Notice I'm getting right behind them, and then I'm diving. Now, sometimes you just won't trigger this animation, but even if you don't, I still, right there, I still recommend doing it just because you're going to be moving forward, right? So boom, Jimmy jump up and over, and you see right there, they're still going to give us that touchdown, even though we don't totally get the animation. This is just a really big deal if you're running dives in this area of the field, right? Right now I'm running a halfback dive from shotgun. You can do this from, something like fullback dive and goal line. You ideally do want someone taller here and someone who can jump, but right there's a great example. We jump over the double team, right? Oh, they're money up the middle, bang. If I just run straight, I'm probably not going to get that. And this takes out a lot of fluke with like run stick. We're like right there, a little scary. Right here, up and over. Really, really easy. Press that left stick up, hold X or square. Spend 2 minutes in practice mode doing this. And seriously, this is the difference between potentially not scoring a touchdown and making a touchdown pretty easy. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you utilize this route, especially if you're somebody who, you'll watch YouTubers talk about, hey man, just wait 10 seconds in the pocket and buy enough time and throw this deep post or corner route or whatever. This is a route that's going to get the ball off fast, and that's going to be open against the majority of defenses. And I'm talking about the drag, okay? The drag route is incredibly good, especially when you're getting it from in tight to the offensive line. So something like a tight end, you could do it from, the slot right here. And this can come stock on some plays, or you might have to hot route it. To hot route a drag, all you're going to do is let's press Y triangle. Let's select the receiver. In this case, it'll be A and down the right stick. That's going to get me a drag route going right here. Bang. And you see over and over again, I've called this 5 times or so, and it's been open every single time. Let's go into the formation screen here. And formation-wise, I don't care a ton other than I just personally want you to have that kind of in-close alignment. So we'll go empty quads right here, okay? And just for the sake of transparency, so I'm not just making things up, this is on Heisman, okay? Let's go here. We'll go random defense, and let's just call this a few times. This play has a stock drag from Dollison. So let's go here, and guess who's open? Dollison. Now, what's really nice about the drags is that they get open in different areas of the field, meaning that it takes a lot of resources for the defense to defend, right? Nice. So the previous play, I threw it in the left seam. That time it was open right over the middle. This time it's going to be open late. And again, like that was a little bit of a tighter throw, but still, point being, it's getting open. Right here, it's open. I'll just wait. It's open there. Notice how we're hitting this same drag in different areas, and every time we've called it, this is purely a stock play. This isn't even a good play. It's just utilizing one good route. Boom. That was probably the most covered it's been. Still able to throw it. Point being, whenever you're able to do something like this, it means it's a good route. Now, this route is not unstoppable. Okay, notice right here, we throw it late. But it is very good. If you wanted to stop it, call zone coverage, shade underneath. We have videos talking about it. I have a video from the other day. Right there's a good example of them actually playing good defense on it. So it's definitely not unstoppable. I have a video from the other day talking about how to stop the most annoying offenses, where I talk about specifically how to stop drag routes. I cannot say this enough, man. I've already said it. But if you're struggling passing, you need to get these drag routes going in your offense to some extent. All right, let's go again. Wide open. Gonna beat man. Gonna beat zone. Does a good job versus match. You just have to. If you want to win, of course. If you don't want to win, I don't care. If you thought that video was cool, you should consider checking out my website, civil.gg. We deep dive a lot of that stuff and entire offensive and defensive schemes that are actually designed to help you win more games and actually just have helped people win more games. 98% of people who have joined said they've actually won since joining. I'm very proud of that number. With that being said, link to that is in the top of the description. You use code CIVIL30 and get a cool 30% off right now.